Yes, it's Monday, and you know what that means? Well, it would normally mean we're about to talk about ghosts. You, I, and everybody else who wants to join in. However, today, what we're going to play instead is a little filler Patreon episode. And the reason for that is because this week, this very week, we're moving house. Now, I know people have said moving house is a big deal and it's the most stressful thing in the world. Last week I thought, yeah, whatever. And right now, I'm a quivering mess covered in paint. And I just don't have enough time to do a lot of things. So, bear with me, pretty please, whilst we play you a Patreon episode instead of the episode you should be getting today. Now, this Patreon episode is, we played a bit of it a few weeks ago, which is the A to Z of the Supernatural, which I've done with Bekah. It's quite funny. It's obviously a little bit of a shallower audio quality because we use the handheld whenever we do a Patreon episode. But, rather than you going empty-handed and me just leaving a message saying, guys, I'm too busy, I want to give you something, obviously. So if you've signed up to Patreon, thank you. That'll all be back to normal next week when we'll read your names out. We'll have a normal show and we'll be doing the show from a new house. But right now, I'm surrounded by boxes and clutter and drills and things, and you don't want to know. So in the meantime, and in between time, for this and this week only, here's me and Bekah discussing a supernatural A to Z. I hope you all enjoy, and everything will resume to normal next Monday. Okay? Enjoy yourself, guys. Take care, and tatty bye.
Live from Liverpool, we need to talk about ghosts.
Patreon podcast
With Kevin Eustace.
So it's Sunday, you wonderful people. It's time for me and Bekah, because Bekah's here. We're going to do a paranormal... We're on the handheld. Say hello, Bekah.
Hello.
We're going to do a paranormal Sunday show, because that's what we do. But we're going to get Bekah's take. I thought what we do is we go back down to very basic levels and have Bekah on for the full show. And I'm just going to read... We're going to look at a list of paranormal entities or beings. And you're going to give me your opinion on them. You're going to tell me what you know about them. And you're going to tell me what your believability in the factor of them is.
Okay.
And it's a very simple list, this. I literally Googled list of paranormal creatures.
I love the research that you put into the show.
How dare you? This was the second link I pressed. I'll have you know. So, first, angels. Start at A.
Mm-hmm.
Angels, of course, Bekah. What do you know of them?
Well, this is a good start because I do know of angels. I've heard of them.
How much of the folkloric aspect of angels? So do you know, it's mainly a Christian arc, I think. Archangels? Hey. But do you know anything of like the hierarchy of angels, who the four main angels are and stuff?
There was an angel, Gabriel.
Yes, he's one of the archangels. Archangel Gabriel.
Archangel Michael.
Correct.
Ooh. Archangel... There was one with a very unusual name.
Very true, and I don't know archangels myself. I'm going to Google the names.
Right.
I'll know them when I see them.
Like, not Ebenezer, but something like that.
Ebenezer.
Yeah, I've just said not Ebenezer.
Yeah, not like Ebenezer. That. So, an archangel is an angel of the highest rank, okay? Mm-hmm. It's associated with the Abrahamic religions, which Christianity is, of course, one. Mm-hmm. And it's derived from the Greek called chief angel. There you go. So, let's see, in Christianity this is anyway. The archangels are... Oh, there's only 3?
Oh.
In Catholicism, 3 are mentioned by names. Oh, yeah, of course. Gabriel, or Gabriel.
Yeah.
Michael.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give you a clue. The third is a Ninja Turtle. Do you know your Ninja Turtles?
Michelangelo.
Correct, but not one of these.
Okay. Leonardo.
Correct, but not one of these.
Luigi?
No, what you've done there is you've made the jump into Nintendo Land, which is fine. It's still, No, I'll give you a clue. He had a red bandana, and his weapon were known as sais, which were 2 like fork things they would whizzle round. Now, remember, all the turtles were named after Renaissance painters and artists and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It begins with an R. Raphael.
I was going to say it's there somewhere, but yeah,
Anyway.
I wouldn't. I would just struggle to get that there and then. An Archangel Raphael.
Yes, very good. Okay. So they're the 3 archangels. I thought there were 4, but evidently not.
So is there a head angel and then the 3 archangels, or are they the top
I think Michael is... Well, it says Michael in the Hebrew language means who is equal to God, which is interesting. He's depicted in Christian times as a commander who holds in his right hand a spear with which he attacks Satan, and in his left a green palm branch.
To keep him cool.
He's considered to be the guardian of the Orthodox faith and a fighter against heresies. Gabriel means God is my strength, or the might of God. He is the herald of the mysteries of God, especially the incarnation of God and all of the mysteries associated with it. He's depicted in his right hand, he holds a lantern with a lighted taper, and has left a mirror of green jasper. The mirror signifies the wisdom of God as a hidden mystery.
Wow.
Raphael it is God who heals. Uriel, which is another, Uriel is the one I was thinking of. There's about 9 in some of the religions. So Uriel means God is my light. Sealthel means intercessor of God. Jagudiel means glorifier of God. Brachael means blessed by God. And Jeremiel is God's exaltation. So do you believe in angels anyway? Getting back to the reason of the show. Do
Yeah, there's
you
an
believe in angels? Something good in it. Do you believe in angels?
Well, obviously not. But
Obviously not. Just fucking putting down every religion in the world.
no, not really. Not every religion has angels, Kevin. So you know in Love Actually,
Yes.
Mr. Bean was originally meant to be an angel.
In the book, is he an angel?
What book?
Is there a book for Love Actually?
No.
Okay then. All right.
No, originally, so there were going to be a couple of things. So the idea
Rowan
was
Atkinson.
Yes, Rowan Atkinson. So the idea was, you know, the jewellery scene where the guy's buying a necklace and he's like
For his
faffing
bit on
around
the
with
side.
it. Yeah, exactly. For his bit on the side, and he's like faffing around with it. The idea was that he was being so slow that the guy's wife would come before he had a chance to buy it. So he was actually trying to scupper the sale.
Okay.
And then the scene at the end where the kid's running through the airport, you know, trying to get to his little girl, he was then meant to be like looking for his boarding pass or something and distracting the guards again while the kid ran through.
Oh,
So
okay.
he was there was
Like an
this
angel of love.
Yeah, exactly. There's this idea that he was like an angel, like helping the people out, but that was scrapped and he just ended up being a comic figure of taking really.
But he
long
does
to work
both
on
of those
offences.
things, doesn't he?
Um,
I'm sure he does. He is fumbling for his boarding pass.
yeah, well, I think there were a couple more things. Anyway, he just wasn't an angel in the end.
Okay, but it's a nice little interesting theory.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not going to do centaurs.
Because he did end up buying the necklace, was the thing.
Okay, we're not going to do centaurs. Half man, half horse.
Why?
Licensed to shit in the
Have you
street.
got against centaurs?
All right, then. Do you believe in centaurs? Exactly.
I wish a centaur was.
Demons, next in our alphabetical order, we're doing this. Demons. What's your thoughts on demons?
You can be a demon.
Exactly. As could you. I think you are a fucking demon. I've told you this. When you brush your hair in front of your head and look at me like pretending to be a demon. But my point is that you're a very convincing demon. So demons, yes or no?
No.
Why?
Well, you have to believe in, like, a physical concept of hell for a demon, don't you?
And you don't believe in hell? Oh, this is getting deeper than I thought, but you don't believe in hell?
No.
No.
No, I don't believe downstairs there's, like, fiery stuff going on, and... No, of course not.
Okay. Interesting. Do you believe in heaven?
No.
What do you believe in afterlife, then?
We've been through this.
Well, I want to go through it again very quickly. What happens when you die?
Well, see, the thing is, matter and energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So you do, science-wise, you must just go back into the universe. So I may simply be a single drop of rain, which I will remain.
That's from The Highwaymen, everyone. Who sings that?
That's what I believe, the Highwayman.
Did he? Oh, but it's called The Highwayman, isn't it? I was a highwayman.
Yeah, the Highwayman.
On a
Sing the
donkey
Highwayman.
in the street.
Don't be all patronising over it.
It's your funeral song, actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, the devil.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
You the devil in disguise. Oh, yes, you are. Yeah, same.
Same? You don't believe in the devil?
No, we've already said about that as well. Oh, no.
What do you believe about evil, then?
It's just a cruel world, isn't it?
Fucking hell. I thought I was the pessimist in the relationship.
No, what do you mean? Where does it come from? I don't know. I think it comes from just, like, greed and that and selfishness. I think all evil, yeah, comes from a almost solipsistic perspective and, like, complete inability to empathise. I think people just, like, they literally solely think of themselves and their own ends and their own gains, and I do think that's where...
Well, you're going to have to do this. You're going to have to explain the word solipsistic. What's the word?
Solipsistic.
What does it mean? Because you can't just bounce on it and start throwing out your fucking master's degrees.
I will read you the definition.
Okay.
The view or theory that the self is all that can be known to exist. And it's also like the quality, like based on that, it's the quality of being self-centered or selfish. So it's thinking that the self is all that can be, so it's basically that you are kind of the only major player, the only really thing that exists and matters, and everything else is just like background.
Well, isn't that a bit Descartes-ish?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I actually think that that's possibly, partly, the root of a lot of evil, just like people are kind of their own gains and their own things, the only things that matter, their perspective is the only one that matters, and other people are like, everyone else is an other or a less than.
Yeah, but I think, okay, it's not about philosophy, I mean, can't even say it. Dragons.
Now, dragons do exist.
What?
What do you mean, what?
Well, no, come on, like Komodo dragons, you mean?
Yeah, bearded dragons and stuff.
Okay.
And, like, if there's such thing as a flying lizard, then there's a dragon, isn't there?
Okay.
And I think there's probably such thing as a flying lizard.
I'm sure there is.
Ergo, dragons are real. Next.
Fairies.
It's a fairy.
Fae folk, like woodland imps, spirits. Like, there's a guy who's got an actual paid job in Ireland of protecting a fairy mound. And he goes out and makes sure they're alright and sort of, like, just leaves some breadcrumbs, I think, and be like, you okay today, fairies? And there's things like, you can't build on fairyland and all
Who
this.
pays him for that?
Me.
No, you don't. Who pays him for that?
I don't know, tax tourism board, maybe? Or like, when we went to the Isle of
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. When we went to the Isle of Man, and we got the bus down to the cat sanctuary, and we went over the
Fairy bridge?
ferry bridge,
Yeah.
and the bus driver goes, we're going over the ferry bridge now, so those are the fairies.
Yeah. It's that much of a normal thing that the announcement, that usually says, like, we are coming into Peel, or whatever.
Yeah.
Actually says, good morning, fairies.
Good morning, fairies. Yeah, but there's the thing. So what do you think?
Well, no,
Nature spirits.
it's
Nature spirits.
a lovely idea, but no.
No.
Maybe anything that good comes from protecting the fairies actually comes from protecting nature.
Okay, do you believe in fairy spirits? Do you believe in nature spirits?
No. But I believe that nature is stronger and more powerful than we give it credit
But then
for.
you're giving it sentience.
Maybe it's sentient.
Interesting. We'll dig deeper in that at another point in this list, no doubt. Ghosts. The very topic on which the podcast is built. The foundation stone of this entire speech.
Speech.
Well, of this, what you're listening to.
No.
No?
No.
Get out.
You get out.
That was that funny. You seen your answer on that Facebook page, by the way. It was like, give a score if you've heard a ghost.
Yeah.
You've seen a picture of a ghost. And
Being
you were
on
like,
a ghost hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing. It wasn't the scene of the ghost. It was all the things that you've done, like all the
Yeah.
ghost hunts and stuff. Like, why is mine so high? It's ridiculous.
Goddesses.
Well, I mean, you tell me, Kev.
Well, you're a goddess.
Exactly.
Gods?
No.
You tell me, Bekah. Fucking hell. Right, sexism there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying griffins, because, no. Here's one. Jinns. Go on, so let's see if you can deny the existence
love
of
a good
demons. Let's see if you can deny the existence of demons and not offend Islam. Go on, Bekah. 5 seconds. Here you go.
I love a good gin.
You mean the spirit gin, the
I
alcohol
do.
spirit? I do. I believe in all demons and all fates. I am a nice person.
Well, you've just shot yourself in the
Not
foot.
all faiths, God.
St. Peter.
Only one God. Anyway. Sirens.
Again, you tell me.
Well, you're not a siren.
I mean, if
you're
I-
a good swimmer.
Why would I be a siren? I could be a siren.
I
If
spent
I
all
was-
New Year's Eve listening to you do karaoke. You're not a siren. If I heard you coming from a rock, I'd be like, avoid.
You spent about 20 minutes New Year's Eve listening to me do karaoke, and then
And then I went to
It
bed
was
at
that
2 in the
bad.
morning.
it was that bad. You got a cob on. And that
Yeah,
was
and went to bed. And then you're
it.
upstairs
I could
singing
be a siren.
Jolene to
If
an
I was
8-bit
there on the
version.
rocks, people might want to pull up.
Only to shoot you. Just saying. Okay. Unicorns. Do you
It would
think
be
that-
nice if unicorns
It would be nice.
existed,
I don't
wouldn't
see
it?
why. I don't think unicorns are such a stretch that historically they may have existed.
Yeah.
They're,
It's
they're-
only a horse with a horn, isn't it?
exactly, and there are animals with antlers. And only today have we found out the size of a moose.
Moose is a
And it
massive...
turns out that a moose is like the size of a bus.
Who knew? I had no idea how big it was. I had no idea a moose was bigger than a 4x4.
No, I thought a moose was like a deer. Like
Yeah.
a bulky deer.
I did, or like a stag.
Yeah, or like the size of a cow, maybe. But if you Google the size of a moose, if you think a moose,
shocked.
like us, is like the size of a deer, and something that you could pat on the head, it's taller than a man. It's built like a brick shit house. Honestly, it really
it's like
is.
bigger than a 4x4.
It really is, yeah. Okay, here's an interesting one. Vampires.
Why is that an interesting one?
Because I've got a bit of a belief in vampirism.
Right.
Definitely in psychic vampires. I think I've been around some psychic vampires.
Do you mean emotional vampires?
Yeah, same as. Yeah, as in
Is that?
Yeah, an emotional vampire. Someone that can drain your energy just by being in the room and seems to feed on the fact they never get tired whilst you do. I've been in a room with one particular person who I won't mention, and I've been full of energy and full of vigour, and I've spent 10 minutes in the company, and they seem to have gone up as I went right down and been knackered when I've left the room. And they've not done it consciously. They're not like feeding on you.
Are they negative? Is that like how it happens?
No. Could just be talking about something.
Right, that's interesting if it's not like a direct cause.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Because sometimes when you're like feeling up and positive about things and someone's being negative about it all the time, that...
Yeah, and I'm easily influenced anyway in that sort of realm.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't know. I've got a bit of a soft spot for the belief of vampires. Can they be immortal? I don't believe in the full vampiric thing. But interestingly, the folklore of vampires, like the Strigoi from Romania and things like that, a lot of people assume that vampires just came from Bram Stoker. Bram Stoker.
Bram Stoker.
From Bram Stoker, and he was like the origin point. But it wasn't. They've existed. There's a vampire in the Bible, do you know what I mean? Who's like to feast on the living. And in fact, even the building of the Temple of Solomon, one of the demons that was building Solomon's temple. Oh, it's not like before Solomon got the ring to command the demons to build the temple, he had a young boy who was building the temple, and he kept fainting. And when he went over, it turns out he said there was a demon that come to him at night and would feast on blood from his thumb. So the idea that these things go around feasting on human blood is older than the Bible.
There's a vampire in the Bible?
Yeah. I think Lilith is meant to be a vampire as well. She's meant to be the first female vampire.
She certainly was in Frasier.
Wee. But yeah, when it's not called a vampire in the Bible, it's called like just something that feasts on blood.
Right.
A demon that feasts on blood for life, for sustenance.
Next.
Witches.
Yeah, so I would love to believe in magic.
Oh, is where you go with your quotes, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe that there is such a thing as magic, but can give no credit to any particular instance of it.
Who is it who said that?
I can't remember.
Yeah, but there are witches. There are people who call themselves witches.
Yeah, and that's like all well and good. I don't believe that that's kind of actual magic, but I think it is probably very heavy psychologically. So if they do a spell for something to turn around, and they therefore believe it's going to turn around,
and they change
I think
their
that's
actions
much more
to make
likely, that it will ultimately turn
But why
around.
isn't that still some sort of hacking and therefore magic in itself?
Well, because hacking isn't magic.
But it is.
It's fine that it's hacking.
No one else
but
can do it, and you know a little spell or trick. So this is my.
It is because anyone else can do it. If you had a positive mindset, you could do it too. It's just that under a different name, isn't it?
I believe in the power of spells, curses, and all that. And yeah, but the thing is, I do think 98% of it comes from your brain doing it yourself, but through the power of suggestion. I do believe that, but I still think that's magic in itself. It's like when Darren Brown can tell you your past, like what you've done when you were 10 years old by looking at your eyes. He says it's not like absolute magic pulled out of the ether. There's a method to it, but it's still magic.
It's a trick. That's the difference between a trick and magic.
Yes, but my point is, it's still something that 99% of the population can't do.
Yeah, but there's a lot that 99% of the population can't do. It doesn't mean it's magic.
I think it's as close to magic as you'll get, to be honest. I think if you can do something with the intent to change something physical in your world, and even if it is down to subtle little changes that you do in your life, it works, then the spell has worked. It doesn't necessarily mean it's required intervention by divinity.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying it's fine. It's all well and good. And if it helps you, brilliant. But it's not magic. It's like if you get the same outcome, just having a positive mindset, then it's not magic. Is it? It's great and it's helpful and crack on, but it's not actual magic.
Because I've told you, I've done a spell in the past and it worked.
And here I am.
Yeah, exactly. And explain that. No, but I did do a spell in the past to get out of a terrible situation, and it worked.
But could you not have just got yourself out of the terrible situation?
No, I couldn't see a way, hence the spell.
Right, but then you did get yourself out of the terrible situation.
Yes, but interestingly...
And was it your actions that got you out of it? It wasn't
No.
a doing machine, was it?
No, it wasn't a doing machine, but it was... It got me out of the situation, but not in a great way. But that's the thing with magic, is that you could say, this is what they say about magic, and that one in my example worked true to this warning they say about magic, is that when you do a spell, you need to be specific. So, for example, and I wasn't specific, I said, get me out of this situation. Something happened to get me out of that situation, but it was a horrible thing that happened. But it got me out of the situation.
Yeah.
Because there's no morals in the world of magic. It's like...
Yeah. What I think you've done with that spell, it's not that the spell has power in itself, it's the fact that you've... Doing the spell is equal to you solidifying in your mind that it's time to go.
Enough. Yeah.
That it's time to go. So it's not that the spell, I think, has like literally nothing to do with it. If you just started talking to yourself and thought, like, right, you know what, I've crystallised in my mind now, this is enough, this needs to end, and then the next kind of jarring incident, you've gone, so I don't think the spell has anything to do with it. Again, though, that said, if it was something almost a placebo for you, if it was something that helped you put into action your thoughts...
Yeah, that's my point.
Then,
is that I always think back to that when I think, like, do spells work? And I think, there was nothing magical about that, but I asked for something, it happened, not in an ideal way. And yeah, even if it is a point of, like, all it does is allow you to subconsciously solidify your thoughts, like you're saying. Mm-hmm. Is that a bad thing?
Yeah, but that spell didn't end that relationship. You ended that relationship.
Okay, so that brings us to W. So obviously after witches, we have wizards.
I feel like we've covered
the same
this.
applies, doesn't it, really?
I feel like this has pretty much been covered.
Okay. And finally, there is one caveat at the end of this. But finally, Zed, zombies.
No, I don't believe in zombies, but we do watch a lot of zombie things. We
do. And do you know that there's actual... I don't want to sound like... This will come across as racist, so I'm not going to say it. But in fact, I will, but I apologise if it does. But apparently, like I don't know whether there's like voodoo or Haitian stuff, like magic, where there was some sort of... I think it was, is my point. There was some sort of, like, dust you could get from a puffer fish.
Right.
And I think it was like Haitian voodoo, I don't know though. But... And if you blew that in someone's face, or they ingested it in some way, it would lower the heart rate and the respiratory system to such a point you could be declared dead. Mm. But then, and I say a lot of people, listen to some of the books that you read, they say a lot of, like, slaves at the time who worked on the fields were under that spell. As in, like, they could be put down to such a thing, and then they could be slightly roused, where they could be put to manual labour and work, because they had almost like rehypnol. Right. So, they just do what they were told and, like, be kind of out of it. Oh, and they were referred to as zombies. Right. So that's horrific, isn't it? Mm. But apparently, like, armies have zombie contingency plans in case there's ever a virus that goes around that makes everyone attack each other.
I mean, on the pufferfish thing, I like to throw out that I know you're kind of saying it, as if you've got all this historical information. I also know where you've got this from, which is white collar.
No, it's not. It's not.
It is.
It's not. It might have also come up on there, but it's not. I promise you.
Okay. Yeah, no, we watch a lot of zombie things, so we have plans, don't we?
Yeah, we have a contingency plan.
Yeah.
We're preppers.
Yeah, we know. Well,
we're not actually preppers.
We're not actually preppers. I wish we had the space to be preppers.
Yeah,
wish we had a big garage where
we don't have the space for a sewing machine.
I know. I think I'm not, because I'm a bit of a hoarder. Mm. I think I would be a natural prepper.
Yeah, I think you would too.
Because I like to keep everything. Like, I would keep every glass jar. If we had it.
See, the thing is, all this is well. I think you need to start at the beginning if you're going to be a prepper. Like, I'd need to learn how to fight for one. There's no good having all these resources that you could survive for a year and you step outside a different door and someone punches in the face and they've got them.
Yeah.
Because and that's my worry. We can be as prepped as we want. Yeah. But if you step outside and you go, give us that, and you go, all right.
Keep going. It's the people who stay in one place that die. You've got to keep going. So that's another thing. It's transporting all these things.
Yeah.
There's no fuel.
Anyway, so zombies, no? But
no,
potential.
No zombies. No zombies.
Okay, well, you wait until there's an outbreak.
Yeah, no, I just don't think that...
we know about this animal. There's a bacteria out there that infects ants, and it turns them into zombies. It literally tells that it reconfigures their brain chemistry to tell them to climb to the highest point these ants climb to the highest point, walk to the end of a ledge, wait until the head explodes, and then the fungi drops down below and infects others. That's an actual bacteria. Now, to imagine that can transfer itself into humans is not such a big leap. Anyway, the caveat to this A to Z, because they come up at the end of this list, extraterrestrials.
Right.
Do you believe?
Okay, so I don't believe in UFO. I don't think UFOs have come down, taking people up for experimenting and that kind of thing.
So you don't believe in alien abduction?
I do think that in the entire universe, there's a good chance there's other life.
So what do you think, what's your opinion on what the US government have now come out and said these things exist, we don't know what they are?
What things?
UAP, the things that have been cited.
UAP is just another phrasing for UFO.
Yeah, it is, but whereas the US Army and Navy used to say they don't exist, they're all explainable. Now the Pentagon are releasing footage and saying we've got no idea what these things are doing. We can't do what these craft are doing.
Yeah, but isn't UAP unidentified aerial phenomena?
Yeah.
Right.
Well done.
Yeah, so that's fine to say we don't know what they are, because that's within the name that we don't know what they are. It's unidentified. That's
but they're showing intelligence is the thing. So what would you say that is? There's a concern. The big concern is that whenever there's a flap of UFOs, it's normally instigated by another nation is the thing. Russia, China, or someone. It's like a fearmonger. It's like in the 60s, Russia, I only found this out by watching the Dead and Brown thing, and I was like, that's dead clever. Russia released into the US a video of a woman that they had who allegedly could move things with her mind. And it was like a black and white crumbly video, and they released it in the right areas of America so that it'd take off. The CIA seen it, shit themselves, and spent millions of pounds trying to, that The Men Who Stare at Goats is based on fact. They were trying to explode a goat's heart with telepathy. They spent millions of pounds investigating this, seeing if it was possible. So there's a theory that when these flaps emerge, it's another nation trying to put you on a red herring.
I mean, there's only humans who do this. The sheer arrogance. Like, the sun's we don't know, it must be aliens, right? Well, if I don't know what it is, it must be an alien. Like, alright, you don't know, just accept that you don't know. I don't know what
do you know what, isn't it a really interesting and scary theory? Have you heard of the dark forest theory?
Yes.
What is it?
That it's so dangerous out there, we don't even want to know.
Kind of, yeah. But the idea is if you're in a forest, there's a lot of people who think that we shouldn't be trying to make contact with people. And with aliens, because they think, if you think about when you're stood in a forest, yes, you may hear birds from miles away, but around you in that several meter vicinity, you don't hear anything, but it's swarming with life. But the reason you don't hear anything is because they're all remaining quiet to remain safe.
Yeah.
Because that's a cat sprinting past. There's a huge predator out there, which is you. So they're all staying deathly quiet. Now the argument is, we should be remaining deathly quiet. Because
what if there's another predator that they all know that we don't?
Exactly, yeah. And we start going, hello! Hello, we're here! We sending our really, really rudimental, craft into space.
Yeah.
Like turning up in a 70-year-old truck and going, hello!
The one thing I think is interesting, so I do think just the odds are that there is life elsewhere, but I think it's interesting that humans presume that they would be on the same trajectory, technology-wise, as we would. And just that, we'd have, the same end goal. I don't know, I just feel like it could be anything, how they live or whatever, or how they communicate would be so beyond our comprehension.
I think the communication point, definitely, but they all base it on physics, don't they? So they would still need to propel themselves through space. They would still need to, not necessarily avoid temperatures and stuff.
But we just can't comprehend that, even the difference on this planet between life on land and life underwater, it's so different and so complex, and the things that the ecosystems and the life under the ocean, we still don't understand most of it. And on a different planet that has different rules of physics, has different gravity, different everything, different pressures, different gases, different all sorts that we probably don't even know exist. I don't know, just to think that there's any kind of they're probably doing what we're doing. No, it's too different. I think it's too different.
No, I agree with what you're saying there. Okay. The best film I've seen ever to do with, and it's mind blowing, is that brilliant film. What's the alien film where they talk in circles?
Oh, Arrival.
Arrival. The way they describe the communicative aspects of that, and the whole time being a loop, and is amazing.
I would actually recommend a book for these listeners. So, Arrival is based on the short story by Ted Chiang. And he has a there's a collection of short stories, and it's called Story of Your Life and Other Stories. So Story of Your Life, I think, is the Arrival one. Yeah, Story of Your Life is what Arrival was based on, and Other Stories. And it's really interesting, and has a kind of a different perspective and a different way of looking at things, and like a little bit philosophical, but not like a philosophy book, you know. It's very interesting, and I would recommend it to your listeners. And I've recommended it to you. And you did say
have
you'd
we
read
still
it.
got it here, or have you given it to someone?
No, we've still got it. Yeah. I bought it. I bought a new copy for someone else because I wanted to keep ours.
Okay, yeah, we'll give that a read. I'm all for change of perspectives.
Yeah, there's an interesting one at the Tower of Babel as well that you might like. But
Anyway, Bekah, thank you for joining me on the Supernatural A to Z
You are welcome.
and giving your points of view. Got a bit deep at times, but you know.
Did? Yeah, I know, deeper than we expected.
Yeah, there you go. Tatty bye.
Bye, bye.